Jackets team trying to parlay that momentum into a weekend sweep over a couple of ACC opponents.
Eagles hit .315 in that match against Georgia Tech. Here come the Tigers as they find the back row. Danica Rock cannot get there in time, and an early 1-0 lead here for Clemson.
You mentioned the efficiency. They got better and better as the match went on. Had those 8 attack errors early on, and from there on, just 11 final 3 sets. Really great to see a team improve over the course of a contest.
A big reason why these past couple of games for Boston College is Sequoia Lane. She picks up the kill there, and coming off a career-high 17 kills against Georgia Tech.
Yeah, her previous career high lasted all of, 5 days or so? Had a 16 against Florida State the previous weekend.
Another match the Eagles were in, picked up the first set, ended up losing that one in 5. That one gets a piece of the line. Nice little flip there at the net. It's 2-1 here for Clemson.
And that's what the Tigers want. This is a team that thrives at the front of the net. Ton of blocks last time around, those middle blockers. Kind of at the forefront of this offense if you're the Tigers.
Back to Lane it goes, and another kill here for Sequoia Lane. Well, maybe just another couple of days here for Sequoia, and she's looking to break that career high. 2 kills in the early going for the sophomore.
And you see this a lot across all of college athletics. A sophomore towards the end, last few weeks of their sophomore season, you see huge steps forward, those bigger numbers. That confidence level all-time high for her.
Played back here on the near side, flipped up, and block keeps it alive. Extra touch by Ross, and now another chance here for Clemson. Far side, that's poked through, and Rock with the dive on the dig to keep it in play, and Ross just overhits it. Couple of good swings from Kaya Gordon, and she's able to pick up the point.
BC was in scramble mode. Turned it into a decent look, but another instance where, just like the last time out, some of those errors early on, it takes a little bit of time, I'd say, once you get into match mode to really hone in some of those setups, and BC just a little bit errant on that one.
Claire Luma to serve. Rock with the first contact. Ross able to get the point here for Boston College. That's when Boston College is rolling, when they're in system, quick 1, 2, 3, and put the point down.
No surprise to see Ross and Lane, the two to do the scoring early on. Of course, Ross coming off those 22 kills. We've mentioned for Lane the sophomore leap towards the end. We're seeing a junior leap as well down the stretch for Audrey Loss.
That's blocked. Great job keeping it alive by Gilden. And now Yellen showing off that she can do the same. That's going to hit the net. Well, back and forth we go here to start. A couple of good plays for this Boston College back row. Danica Rock, the sophomore from Porter Ranch, California. 4-3 Clemson. Now it's McKenna Gilden, the junior from Plano, Texas, to serve. And Rock just couldn't send it back. Misplay off the serve. That's where Clemson can be dangerous in this matchup here against Boston College.
And they've got a number of players that can rack up those service aces, and BC has to be cognizant of some of those looks, and that was just a bit long. Great leave at the last second. Clemson claiming this one was touched.
And they will overturn it. They asked for confirmation, and they got it. So instead of a 5-4 lead here for Clemson, it's 6-3. Take a look at Jackie Simpson-Keir, now in her 7th overall season, 5th at Clemson. 2-time NIVC appearance. It was actually in the NIVC the year Boston College won it in 2022. Cross-court shot. That one gonna get down for Boston College. Well, 2 years at George Mason, got the opportunity there down at Clemson and trying to build this program back up.
Yeah, she did a great job at George Mason. Of course, had a tremendous playing career as well at Wisconsin. 08 graduate, 2nd all-time in Badgers history as far as assists go.
Eagles pick up another point there. Two-time All-American was Simpson Kier. And our call this week is down as she had talked about the team being with a couple of injuries. Felt like the team has bounced back from that mid-season kind of slump. As get a point here for Clemson. And now it feels like they're dealing with adversity as great as they can, and now turning the corner here with a couple of wins. 3-10 in ACC play, 15-10 overall. Two-point lead for the Tigers. This one, nice little float serve and another ace. Nicely done off the serve by Addie Raines. Had 3 assists and 13 digs against Syracuse on Friday.
That was a tricky one. It just dropped off the table once it got over the net, found its way in front of the Eagles' defense.
That's a strike down there from Anna Harrington. Second on BC with 181 kills. Make that 182 now.
And when we talk about Ross and Lane, sometimes Harrington gets forgotten about in the mix. Great to have a senior to go along with those middle-classmen to guide the way and just be reliable offensively time and time again.
Nice back set there and a nice finish on the near side by Kate Hansen. Hansen last year led the team with 93 blocks. Averaged about 8.3. This time gets in on the offensive end. 9-6 lead here for Clemson. Nice fake there, but Sequoia Lane's denied by the block. A great job by Catherine Sant to get up and look at the reaction from her teammates.
Well, the Tigers, no strangers to strong starts this season. You look at the last time they were out, 25-15. They won that opening set against Cuse. They are strong starters.
Back to Lane on the near side, tipped it off the block. Gilden able to play it back, and there's a strike down by Gordon. Who said JUCO players ain't got pop?
Well, might break the radar gun to top athletes, to say the very least.
And again, coming off of a down year for Clemson, 11-20 a season ago, just 3 ACC wins. They finished 17th in the conference, but that's following a year where they made it to the third round of the NIVC, had 19 wins, and really felt like a nice turnaround as that one hits the corner. Cornelia Roach able to pick the corner on the far side.
Yeah, a little bit of a taste of Clemson's medicine. They've had a couple of these not so powerful strikes find its way just in the gaps of the defense, and Roach, soft touch.
Right through the middle. Goes back out to Rock at the net, set up to the near side. That's off the block. A nice job by Gilden to push it forward. Back row set up. Eagles will get a free chance. Yellen back to the far side for Lane and hits it off the block, but right to Roach. Again, a setup through the middle. That goes to Ross, and it goes down.
Great resilience from the Eagles. Another instance where Clemson had the numbers at the front of the net, executed the block well, but to just find a way to get it back to your top scorer, it's exactly what you want when you're trying to cut into an early deficit if you're Boston College.
Just a little flip, and Ross tried to block it. A nice decision there at the net by Catherine Sant. And it puts Clemson on top by 4 here in the opening set.
So the thing as a setter, you always have to have that surprise move in your back pocket. Sant with 4 assists in the early going, but have to keep that Eagles defense honest, and she did.
That's a strong strike, but denied. Looked like Gordon and Okur were there. It's been a great story for Nil Okur, coming over from Michigan State, played 3 seasons for the Spartans, and we talked about just playing a great role for this Clemson program. She's come in and really hit the ground running.
One of those players with a career high last time out.
It's a great response there by Ross.
636 hitting percentage in that matchup.
14 kills for Okur. Also added 5 blocks. It's been outstanding there at the front row. Yellen will serve here for Boston College. That's an ace for Yellen. She had 2 against Georgia Tech, give her a 3rd on the weekend, and Boston College closes the gap. 13-10 now in favor of Clemson. Both teams hitting over 300 here in this first set. Pop-up serve from Yellen. Back set and picked up by Rock. Ross gonna get a chance, denied by the block. Sant again with some help from Okur.
In the first set against Georgia Tech for Boston College, it was more so the struggles to, be efficient. This time around, it feels like the Tigers have just had a really good plan of attack and the Eagles are trying to adjust on the fly.
Lane tried to go cross court, but missed it. Good idea for Sequoia Lane. Block again is getting there in time for Clemson, so making Boston College make split-second decisions there at the net. Another line drive serve. Set up to the near side for Ross. Got it off the block. Picked up here. Back set again. That's off the block. Tooling it this time was Mia Moore. That was lovely.
And I think, Lewis, you're seeing so far in this match what playing a tough ACC schedule throughout the year does for a team. Clemson has seen every look imaginable that you can see at the Division I level, and defensively it has made them stronger. And I think for Boston College, they're quickly finding out that they're going to have a lot.
College trying to turn the corner here late in the season, looking for a postseason bid. Another setup here for Lane. She goes cross court and misses it again. So Lane has her eyes set on that cross court target, just over hits it the last 2 times.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough, Lewis, to be on a couple of those matches that NIVC run, and the cohesiveness of that Eagles team was just something to behold. It felt like no matter who they were going up against, they just felt like the more collective unit than some of there might have been some more star power on the other teams that they were playing, but I think just the teamwork that was on display by the Eagles during that run, second to none.
Eagles were hitting 356 in this first set, now down to 136. 6 attacking errors here in the opening set. Another setup and a big windup, but denied by the block for Boston College. So a chance here, but a free ball comes back. Miscommunication, and another setup leads to another free ball, this time for the Eagles. Back on the near side for Ross, and she's denied, but nice job keeping that one alive by Aubrey Moore. Strong strike, lands in. How about that consistency for Clemson?
It's just, looking at it from our vantage point, I just don't know how you're able to get above them. It seems like every single time they get to the net, they've got maybe a couple extra inches of reach on that advantage, but the timing has been what's really impressed me the most about the Tigers in this first set. Everyone is just really aware of what's going on around them and knowing where to be once that ball comes roaring to the front of the net.
Chance here again, cross court finding an opening. Mia Moore again. Absolute rocket from the near side, and you mentioned the size. This is a Clemson team that 9 of the 15 players on the roster is 6 foot or taller. To serve is Luma, a sophomore from Wisconsin. Set up for Moore on the near side for Ross. Popped that one up. It just wasn't cleanly handled by McKenna Gilden. The junior just tried to push it forward, didn't get enough of it.
It's been a balanced attack, too, for the Tigers. You got the 4 kills for Gordon, but then after that, it's 5 other players on the board. So 6 total players amounting for those 10 kills.
Ali Matt and Safia Marjanovic, a freshman from Serbia, will check in. Eagles down 8 here in the first set. Clemson hitting .429. Gildon set up that one and a finish through the middle for Okur. Okur picks up her 2nd kill of the match.
We mentioned efficiency at the top of this broadcast. Both teams coming off of very efficient performances earlier in the weekend, and Clemson picking up right where they left off. Service error there, but I think those couple of aces they had in the early going just gave them that confidence to know, all right, we've got an early lead. We just have to play our game, and that'll naturally extend, and that's been the case.
A lot of coaches will say, hey, we'll take the aces, we'll take the errors if we're going to get more aces than errors, and so far that's the case for Clemson. Luma able to play this one, back to the near side, denied by the block. How about the freshman stepping up? Marjanovic with the block.
Now, Coach Kennedy got to find any sort of resistance up front, and maybe it is the freshman that can provide that spark. Can't teach 6'4", but you can teach the positioning she got in to get up there, get vertical, and come up with a huge block.
Eagles give the point right back, and well, Jason Kennedy said of Sofia Marjanovic, you know, she came over, gelled as well as she could with this group, and has really found a role, not only just on the court, but acclimating here. Always tough to be an international student, and finding some success late in the season. They go right after Marjanovic, and then it's Roach. Kept alive, back set, flipped over that front row, and coming over was Harrington. Another chance for Marjanovic, but a great dig there by Gildon. Chance off the block. More back to Harrington. And I'll get the point.
Some of the best defense we've seen from the Eagles up front. Always helps to get Clemson kind of in rotation, back on their heels. Had that one free ball that I think allowed the Eagles to get a little bit more organized and force the violation, and that's a heck of a dig right there to keep that possession alive.
You know, it's past brunch time, but nice pancake there, and opportunity on the back set to finish it off, and off the block and out. A great finish there for Hansen, and able to pay off that nice dig.
She was crucial in the first set last time out as well. Just one of those players that you can rely on to set the tone offensively, and couldn't get it through the block, but ends up on the other side of the line. That's all you can ask for.
Serve is out, makes it 23-16 here in the first set. Well, Boston College 16-9, coming off the win against Georgia Tech 5-8. They had a tough one down in Florida, losing to Miami and Florida State. Marjanovic with the serve. Set up from Sant. Block was there. Lane able to push it back up. She'll have to give Clemson a free chance here. Great chase down by McGrath. Another opportunity for Gordon. Eagles push that one through. It was Roach. Another chance through the middle, and it's Roach and Ross.
Well done to shrink the middle of the floor. You had all three of them up front, taking away that pathway to try and get a spike. Cornelia Roach played about as much as anyone on the floor today, and that's that experience paying off.
Get a low serve, and Marjanovic, with some help from the tape, picks up an ace. Timeout Clemson, as Jackie Simpson-Keir wants to talk it over, as Boston College brings it within 5 here in set number 1. We'll step aside here in Clemson hitting 312 kills, just 3 attacking errors here in this first set. 10 digs and 3 blocks. Boston College hitting 167 on 11 kills, 30 total attacking opportunities. Marjanovic on the serve. Again, jostled for at the net, and Clemson wins that battle. Catherine Sant showing off her strength.
Meanwhile, Boston College with 14 digs so far, and they've been in scramble mode quite a bit. Testament to how the Tigers have executed their plan of attack, and now they're on the doorstep of taking this first set.
Back for Ross, who put that one down. Might be a dent on the floor after that one. And we're talking about Catherine Sant. Last year had a double-double against Boston College. Loves playing against this Eagles team. Redshirt sophomore, over 1,000 assists in her career. Yellen to serve. At the net, Sant back to the far side for Gordon, and she tools the block off of Lane. That's gonna do it here in the opening set. Coming off 3 matches, 3 out of the last 4 matches she's played with 10-plus kills. Through the middle for Roach and didn't get a tip.
And not a surprise, too, on the Boston College side to see Mott and Moore both splitting the duties as far as assists go. That's been a common theme throughout the season. It's a bit of an advantage, too, for Boston College, not have to rely on one player to do all of that work.
Mott this time on the setup and then the put down for Boston College. Hoppus gets in and immediately makes an impact.
You know, this day and age, you see regularly someone with 30, 40 assists every single match. It's always nice to see, you know, a share of those duties, 20 and 20 on both sides. And I think the trust for Coach Kennedy and his staff in both of them is significant.
It's a great dig there by Yellen. Back for Ross, and there's Gildon with another dig on her side. Pushed across and put down. Bella Ehrlich.
That's a player that can turn the tides up front, talking about the advantages that the Tigers have had winning that battle up front, but this is a freshman who continues to get stronger and stronger as the season's gone along, had 3 blocks last time out. Well, it looks like Clemson might be looking at something here.
So they'll head to the table. You were talking about Hoppus, or excuse me, Moore and Mott. In that Georgia Tech matchup, 27 assists for Mott and the 20 for Moore. And even today, you see kind of the sharing of the duties with so far 8 assists for Lucy Mott and 5 for Aubrey Moore.
And, you know, Mott being a sophomore, Moore also a sophomore. So you're talking about 2 players that you can rely on going forward. And it looks like Clemson will actually be awarded the point upon further review, but 2 sophomores that you can rely on to set up your attacking players for years to come. That is a huge advantage, and maybe even a recruiting point too if you're looking at players to bring in the future. Say, hey, we got 2 really good setters if you want to rack up the kills here at Boston College.
Aubrey Moore missed some time earlier this year. Lucy Mott leading the team with the assist coming into today with 472, and there's another point here for Clemson as they now build a 2-point lead, back-to-back points for the Tigers. It's going to be Kate Hansen to serve. Marjanovic now over to the near side. It's under the duck of Sam Hoppus, but maybe got a tip here. And looks like the officials are going to have a conversation. They're going to check this one, and Jason Kennedy looking for an explanation.
Now, an initial look, I don't think it was touched, and Clemson seemingly had that last look, but Kennedy shakes his head. Don't think he's going to take a review here, and tough break for the Eagles. Seemed like they were in good defensive position. Bounce just didn't go their way.
I think what the official said, based off of what Bella Ehrlich was saying, is it got a piece of her hair, piece of the head there going by. So contact by Boston College. Ehrlich trying to put that one away, gets the point for the Eagles. Ehrlich, 7 kills, 5 blocks against Georgia Tech for the freshman from San Ramon, California. Leads the team in blocks and is 9th in the ACC in blocks per set at 1.27.
And she led the entire state of California as a sophomore in hitting percentage. That is an absurd stat.
Back on the near side, and a great take by Marjanovic. Ross gonna get a chance off the block. A great job there on the opposite side as well by Addie Raines. Both back rows have been outstanding in a one-handed fist. It's too hard hit. Effort on that back row by McGrath just leads to a little bit too much there by Gordon.
I don't know how they managed to even get it into a decent situation to try and steal the point. That's one that Gordon has been hitting to success early on in this match, but a little bit too much that time.
There's Gordon again. This time the block was ready for it. Ehrlich, again Gordon, and just missed it wide. You can see she's a little frustrated. Couple of tries and couple of ones that miss.
I think what impresses me the most about her, Lewis, is she's not exactly all that close to the net when attempting these kills. She's a good 4 or 5 feet away. It takes a lot of elevation to be able to pull that off, but she has a great vertical.
So pop back to the Eagles. Yellen to the near side for Harrington. Ehrlich just pushes that over. Free chance here. Again for Gordon. Denied by the block. Harrington steps up for Boston College.
Now maybe in that break between the first and second set, it's possible the Eagles identified something that they could have done differently and are putting it into action as far as defending the onslaught up front. So far, so good in this second set.
Eagles trailed 4-1. They'll give up that point, and that stops a 4-0 run, and we are all tied at 5-5 here in set number 2. Eagles 5-8 in ACC play. Last year, 8-12. Finished 11th in the ACC. They started 1-7, had their struggles early on, but bounced back, finishing 7-5 in the last 12. And this one out, Clemson will pick up the point.
Well done by the Tigers to let Moore know that that one was coming straight down on the maroon rather than the tan hardwood.
Another chance. That time from Ross, and it goes ping-ponging against the Eagles. And Clemson now feels like they're finding their stride. Another serve for Sant. Set up again for Ross, and did she get a touch? No, so over hits it. And really impressed with the front row for Clemson. So disciplined, they haven't gone overreaching, and a 3-point extension of the 8 in the match. They've only allowed Boston College to hit sub 100, .098 for the Eagles. 10 attacking errors for Boston College.
It's been an error-filled second set, too, on both sides, with both teams in the red currently in hitting percentage.
And into the net, so a point here for Clemson.
Service has continued to be sublime for the Tigers. Had the 3 aces in the first set, already 2 in this second one. You see that discrepancy, pretty large one. Something that BC is going to have to overcome.
And again, Clemson is going to give back the point on the error there by Sant, but that was a nice run. It was a 5-0 scoring run on the serve of Catherine Sant. So Eagles down 3 here in the second set. It's going to be Ross to serve. Sant on the near side, and that one's Gordon. I mean, it's unbelievable that Kaya Gordon was just hanging around in junior college. Averaged 3.62 points per set, including 4.5 last season. Over 590 kills in her 2 years there.
Talk about seizing the opportunity at a bigger school. She has done just that down in South Carolina.
Great serve by Luma. Nice dig. Sant got down. That's off the block. Boston College gonna have a chance here. Marjanovic had to readjust and just gives the free chance. Sant to the near side, pushed over, and a dig there by Yellen. And how about that effort for Ross? Free chance for Clemson. Sant again to the near side, looking for McGrath, and Yellen is there. Marjanovic got a piece of the block, so Luma has to keep it alive. Backside, and that's off the block, and Yellen. How about this extended rally? Back row for Ross, she just pushes it. Gildon keeps that one alive. Luma to the near side. McGrath pops that one up. A dig for Ross. Far side, Marjanovic off the block. Don't you love volleyball on Sundays?
That's the point of the match so far, and perhaps a turning point for Boston College. Great resolve to just stay with the play, get it back to that far side where you've had a ton of success. Great resiliency.
Gildon had a couple of good digs on the opposite side, and Yellen as well. That's a hard hit off of Ehrlich. So Clemson restores the 4-point lead here in the second set.
You might hear that last name, Gildon, if you're familiar with BC athletics. Sounds a little familiar. That's because her brother, Max, played college hockey just up the road at New Hampshire. So he played over at Connie Forum plenty of times.
It's a great block there through the middle. Kate Hansen steps up. Good athletic family, and for Gildon, also might be coming for our jobs, wants to be a sports broadcaster at the conclusion of her career. Nice serve going after Marjanovic again. Back set, and Harrington had to readjust, so pushes this one over. Through the middle, and it's kept alive by Ross in the back row. Another back set for Harrington. Touched by the block, keeps it alive. Sant back row again, and Ross, how about that one, using her body. Marjanovic readjusts. Gildon sets it up for Sant. Now back again on the near side for McGrath. Another great dig for Boston College. Marjanovic able to reset. Again, a chance for McGrath. This time she finds paint. Mia McGrath, the senior, gets the point for Clemson.
Even when Gordon checks out, you have McGrath to worry about. You have Moore to worry about. So much depth up front.
Off the tape, chance for Harrington, and the block is there. McGrath. First she gets the kill, then she gets the block. 7 lead for Clemson over Boston College here in the second set. Well, Clemson has been outstanding throughout the match, still hitting over 200 at 245. They've limited the attacking errors here in the second set.
And the funny thing is, it's a far less efficient second set than it was in the first one, Lewis, and yet the lead is just as big as it was.
Harrington, oh, another pancake by Gildon. And denied, Gildon gets back in it. Back set, oh, what a readjustment, and what a strike for Mia Moore.
I'll tell you what, though, McKenna Gildon's been the unsung hero so far for Clemson. Every single time it feels like Boston College is going to pick up one of those important points, try and get back into it. Gildon gets down to the hardwood, extends the possession, and then it's just a matter of Clemson and their top killers up front coming away with points.
Back set, and Harrington couldn't adjust enough. It's going to go into the net. Gildon, who is one of the 2 new co-hosts for Beyond the Paw, a Clemson Plus podcast dedicated to sharing the stories of athletes away from the field of play, and an on-air intern with Tiger pregame show that does broadcast before the Clemson football games. Another point here for Clemson, and well, we got to be careful, Colin. Might be coming for us.
Yeah, that's really cool, though, to still be involved in sports media while being a student athlete. It's a lot on your plate, and to have the success that she's had as part of the Tigers volleyball team while also accomplishing that, kudos to that work ethic.
Eagles were out of sorts from the start on that one, and it leads to another point here for Clemson. 7-0 scoring run for the Tigers. Gildon to serve, was Big Orange Bash all-tournament team honoree earlier this season. Harrington trying to put a stop to it, and does. Goes right after the block and gets the point for Boston College. Back to serve for the Eagles is Lucy Mott. Grace Milliken checks in for Boston College. Sant back set again through the middle, and Yellen. Point there for Clemson.
It's been a dominant display so far. Feels like they've been a step faster to the ball than Boston College has been in this second set.
Again, Eagles gonna give a free chance here. Sant to the near side, and that one off the body of Yellen. Mia McGrath, the senior, goes cross court, gets the point. You can feel the air kind of leaving here in the building.
I mean, volleyball's a momentum sport. Sometimes once that avalanche starts, it is hard to stop it. You're seeing it happen in real time.
It's a Clemson team that has played much better here down the stretch. Try to make a case for some postseason play, and You know, 2 big wins on the road against Syracuse and Boston College will put them in the conversation. 20-9 here in set number 2. Danica Rock to serve, the sophomore from California. Sister Delaney plays volleyball at Colorado College. That's just pushed over by Sant. Another player who's had a quiet but impressive game.
That has mixed in a couple of those deception plays. And it's important because when you have some aggressive players up front trying to score those kills, all you want to do is cast a little bit of doubt in Boston College, remembering to not worry about the setter.
Gordon goes into the net, point there for Boston College. Well, we were talking about Sant, 18 assists, 3 kills, 1 service ace, a dig, and a block. Has done it all tonight.
A little bit of everything.
Yellen to serve. Tigers play it. Pushed over, free chance for the Eagles. Yellen, high set for Ross. Got it off the block, but right back to Ross it went. Back set here. That's a great strike by Samantha Hoppus, who finds the paint.
Southpaw getting involved. Needs someone to come up front and try and help out. Can't only be Ross.
Sant back against the near side. Gordon took something off of that one and still gets the point for Clemson.
I don't know if that was by design or not, but it looked cool.
It's like, you know, in basketball, you go up for a dunk and then you just have to readjust it for a nice little soft layup off the glass.
There's an art to that.
Another setup here through the middle, and Ehrlich. 1, 2, 3 for the Eagles. So Boston College trying to hang around here in the second set. Pushed over by Sant, and Moore couldn't pop that one up enough on the effort. Well, Catherine Sant, again, opportunistic at the net.
4 for 4. And I think all 4 of them have been that same type play where you expect her to set up perhaps Gordon, perhaps Moore. Says, you know what, I'll take it myself.
Moore on the setup through the middle. Ehrlich got under that one. Chance here, and look at Gordon, a running start. It's Moore again on the setup to Yellen. Ross readjusted, got some help from the tape, but allowed Gordon to get back in it. That's off the hands of Yellen on that far side. Mia Moore.
Now, Kai Gordon, not only known for the spike, that time it was the dig to keep that possession alive. Got it to the far side, now has Clemson on the doorstep of taking the second set.
Set point for the Tigers. Yellen on the serve receive through the middle for Ehrlich. And well, that play has worked a couple of times for Boston College there through the middle. Bella Ehrlich, a freshman who is a prep volleyball top 100 player, ranked 3rd in California for middle blockers. Allie Nat on the serve. Pushed over. Free chance. Sant to Gildon. Back to the far side. That's off the block for BC. Yellen able to keep it alive. Looking for Rock, and she gets the back line. It was tipped as well.
That back line's been open. The issue for Boston College in this one has been getting it through to that back line. And I think you're seeing Clemson just having a lot of confidence in winning the battle up front, saying, you know what, we can leave that back line open because we know we'll deny it up front.
And a great finish here to set number 2. A little with the Bev selection there by Coach Simpson Kerr.
No question.
Back for Gordon. She's stopped by the block. Harrington gets the point for Boston College. Eagles trying to avoid the sweep here and pick up the opening point in set number 3.
And all starts up front. I know we've said that a number of times so far, but there have been moments where we've seen the Eagles start to kind of identify favorable matchups to get some action going towards the front of the net. But the issue has been Kaya Gordon so far, because not only does she have that powerful shot in her arsenal, she has been almost perfect when it comes to looking towards the back half of the floor. And that's something that the Eagles have to kind of keep an eye on while protecting the middle.
Gordon with 2 blocks, 8 kills, and Boston College will get the point right back. Audrey Ross on the near side finds the opening. Ross now up to 7 kills on the match. Handled by Rains, back to Gordon, and just felt like she whiffed on it, didn't get a clean feed.
Harrington and company, though, in good position. Kind of make her have to think a little bit extra about that shot, whether to take something off, whether to try and go through the block, and she didn't catch it clean.
Sant back set on the near side. Yellen with a diving dig, pushed over by Ehrlich, but got a piece of the net. On the follow through, Ehrlich makes contact, and Clemson will pick up the point.
It's a good idea, and yet still the Tigers seem prepared for it. They got an arm on that, right in that middle lane, and we're ready to get set up once again.
Harrington had to go back towards the benches to get that one. Gildon with the dig. Gordon and Marjanovic able to dig that one out. Eagles get the free point on the free ball.
A miscommunication between the Mias. Moore and McGrath weren't sure who was going to take that one. There's been a couple of times, as great as Clemson's played, on these free balls where there's been a slight hesitation and it's gotten them out of whack. It's funny, they've been better at defending, the spikes than they have sometimes the floaters.
It's going to go into the net, and Boston College a 5-2 lead here in set number 3. Another ace for the Eagles.
Well, these will be some important serves coming up for Boston College, because remember, they jumped out to a decent lead to open the second set, and then Clemson turned it on from there.
Back on the near side, cross-court strike down by Moore. Well, Mia Moore has been outstanding as well, and it felt like in that second set, we talked about how good Gordon was, but Moore really stepped up in set number 2.
And she seized the opportunity once we saw the Eagles pay more attention to Gordon. Turned into a weak side situation, and Moore's just as good at racking up those kills.
Oh, how about that? Ping pongs back to Gildon. She sends it back over. Another chance for the Eagles. It's taken by Samantha Hoppus, and she picks up the point for Boston College.
She might want to keep that ball because she got it through Gildon. Feels like not too many of them have gotten past her. But Hoppus, great power on that. Handcuffed. Gildon couldn't get it cleanly back up in the air.
Great dig on the back row by Ross. Marjanovic kept alive at the net. Sant now pushed over. Marjanovic to Ehrlich, and this can go back again for Hoppus, but she's denied. No support behind Sam Hoppus, and Clemson takes advantage.
And that point felt like it was won, Lewis, when Sant somehow reached over the net to just get it straight up in the air. Usually you have to concede the free ball in a situation like that, not with Catherine Sant.
Redshirt sophomore has been impressive. Backs it again, looking for Hoppus. Goes to Ehrlich. Back to Ehrlich they go, and the block was ready for it for Clemson. Hoppus on the far side, strikes that one down.
Well, the Eagles might have found their hot hand over the last couple of points. Sam Hoppus, that left-handed delivery, maybe just a different look that the Tigers are befuddled by, and another service ace for Boston College.
Audrey Ross called for the chest pump, so Bella Ehrlich obliged. They'll have a couple of games here at home against NC State and Wake Forest next weekend before 3 games on the road against some tough competition down in Texas against SMU, and then on the road at number 3 Pitt before going out to California. They'll close out the regular season here at home against Virginia on November 29th.
That was a busy travel itinerary for the Boston College Eagles.
Mott on the near side looking for Lane, and Sequoia Lane overhit it. Feels like the first time we're seeing Sequoia since the first set.
Yeah, suspiciously quiet so far, but you know, late in the game, trying to extend it to a 4th set. You want some of your best offensive players out there, and hopefully Lane can get it going.
Nice cross-court strike there from Sam Hoppus. Well, coming out of the timeout, Sam Hoppus was clapping, yelling at her teammates, trying to encourage them here on the floor. She does her job, now goes to the bench.
6 kills on 9 total attacks.
19-17. On the serve from Moore. Sant sets it up, back for McGrath, and that one gonna miss long. Point for Boston College as the Eagles hang around.
I think it was Ross back there, last second, got out of the way, recognizing that one was gonna be just a hair long. Good recognition.
Jason Kennedy saw something there from the defense from Clemson, trying to make sure his team's ready for it. Sant pushed it over! I see your adjustment, and I raise you a point.
5 for 5 now on those. He's mixed them in perfectly to go along with those 30 assists.
Phenomenal match here for Catherine Sant, the redshirt sophomore. Lane off the net, played, and now a chance back for Clemson on the free opportunity. Sant back for Gordon, took something off of it. Gildon just gives BC the free chance. Lane off the block, kept alive. Sant back set for Hansen. Now Ross keeps it in play. Near side for Lane, hits it off the net.
Just so tough to find a way past Kate Hansen, who had that big kill to give Clemson the lead before the...
Against Syracuse, where it felt like the numbers were in double digits for a couple of players on kills. This time an all-around effort. The defense really stepping up. 9 blocks so far, 30 digs for this Clemson team. Mia McGrath back to serve, the senior, trying to help her team to a victory here on the road. Marjanovic, first contact, and now Gildon again, another great dig, and pop back up. Sant's gonna have a chance to set it up for Gordon, and Gordon puts it down. 4-point lead for Clemson.
All starts with the Gildon dig, and then just excellent communication up front. It's been a complete team effort this afternoon from the Clemson Tigers.
It's the 15th dig for Gildon. Yellen trying to set it up to Marjanovic. Oh, that's a great dig by McGrath in the back row. Gordon trying to pay it off, but picked up by Ross. Roach tried to flip it there and just didn't get enough on it. Hits it wide. Grace Milliken again checks back in. McGrath on the serve, set up on the near side. Harrington again for Hansen, and she finds the open space. Kate Hansen, 5 kills in the match, 4 blocks. Match point for Clemson. Through the middle, Milliken's denied. What a way to end it. The block, the 10th one of the match for Clemson, leads them to a sweep of Boston College